Happy Friday, everyone. Good morning, and how are you doing? And it's Friday again already. So here's some of the things that we're going to be using today. And before I get started, I wanted to share with you my senior center cards that we did for this month. So here's the first one. This is with the November stamp of the month. This is with one of our new embossing folders, some of our Christmas paper, some of our new color of glitter paper, which is the scarlet, little gold stickles. The next one is a pull out, like so, and it's a crossover card. Again, some more of our Christmas papers, another stamp set, some little rhinestones, and some itty bitties inside the little rhinestones. Next is a happy birthday card. This is using some of the wood grain, some of the mix-ins papers. I also sponged on this. The little squares here were white, so I tied it in with this, which I made with the new oxide inks. Some of our gold thread, some gold glitter gems, another new stamp set that's in the core catalog. So there's that one. And one more, which is with the lovely paper, and that's in our core catalog again. A new thin cut, the matching stamp set, another piece of the paper. This is also the lovely, those three. Color of the year, Bluebell in glitter paper. Happy birthday is stamped in the Bluebell ink. This is also the Bluebell shimmer brush as well. And that's the last one. A little bit of the Bluebell sequins. And then these little dots, hopefully you can see those. See those right there? There we go. These little dots here, I just used the stickles in the waterfall color, which kind of matches our Bluebell. It's pretty close. And just did dot, 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 dot. So there you go. I do the senior cards here in my home, and then I also do them virtual. So if you're interested, just leave me a comment down below. Alright, so what stamp sets are we using today? I thought I would pull out from the core catalog, D1952, Let's Party, with the puppy dogs. I'm also using a thin cut. I can get it off of there. It's the wood grain, but somebody said that could be water maybe too. And it is Z3696. As always, you can shop right here for anything you need, other than this emery board. Okay, so let's sit down and get started. So here's my plain cardstock, and this is the two sides of Carolina, and I'm using the lighter side. But that's the difference. It's a 30% difference in color, so it's almost like having two cardstocks in one. We like that. And then I also did those same exact ones. Here's my embossing folder. Even the little frame is embossed. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this piece, and I'm going to take out this flat frame. So these are the pieces I'm going to be using today. Alright, and let's get started. Oh, two other stamps from the set, besides the big one. It's Your Birthday, and the little paw print. Okay, so let's set that aside, Let's start with this. Also, the distressing inks that I'm using is Pumice Stone, Chipped Sapphire, and Black Soot. I'm going to get those out of the way just a smidge. Alright, so I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am just going to distress it a little bit. Get that good and distressed. And this was just kind of a playing around, really. Okay, so I kind of like that. It's kind of, you can see there's some lines and some little bit of torn edge there. And wipe up all that powder from that. And then we're going to come in with the Pumice Stone. And just kind of give that a little bit of a kind of a grunge distressed look, I guess you'd call it. So a little bit of that just to get it on. Seems to be if you do the lighter first, it kind of doesn't give you those lines of circles as bad. And this is the sapphire. So this one I'm going to be careful with. And I just want to, I can even stamp some off onto my mat, the all-purpose mat. Just adding a little bit of color to that. Okay. Just a little bit of color, and actually I think, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I think I want a little bit more distressing, and you're mostly going to see it on the edges of the card. Okay, so we'll set that one aside. That's going to be our bottom layer. And actually, before I do that, let's get this cleaned up. And if it doesn't clean it all the way up, wet it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back in, and I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday in the bottom. Right down here, because I know it's going to go right down there. Good. And then I'm also going to put a little paw right here, because I know that there's one there. And I know that there's one up here, which when you do that, you got to make sure that you wipe that off, because you're on your all-purpose mat, so it's going to stay wet. And then one right about here. So that's all we'll do for now with that. Okay, so good morning, Peggy. Trouble hearing me. Okay, yes, my volume's all the way up. I'll just speak up. I guess I'm quiet today. So I stamped the Happy Birthday and the little paws because I know where those are going to be. So I just sanded and added a little bit of the oxide ink. So now we'll move on to this piece. And again, I'll stand a little bit so you can hear me. We're going to sand it off. And just play with stuff until you get it the way you want it. I literally just started, kind of had an idea and kind of didn't, so I just kind of, okay, let's try this, let's try that. Good morning, Linda. I can also see the comments when I'm standing. Okay, so we're just gonna de-stress this quite a bit. I don't care if it rips. In fact, I'm trying to get it to rip a little bit. I think I need new emery board. My husband got these from a company that he worked with and gave me a bunch. Okay, let's get rid of some of that dust. And so I'm going to go back to the Pumice Stone, and I'm just going to kind of add some color. And I know it seems kind of silly. Well, why did you do the embossing if you're just going to cover it up? Because that's what I did, so I'm showing you what I did. Okay? So you want to get a liberal amount of that on, and I'm not doing it even, as you can tell. And then we're going to go to the blue, and this I'm going to be a little bit more gentle with because it's a much darker color, so I'm just going to kind of lightly go over and add some of that blue on the tops. Okay. So if you wanted to make this water, maybe some greens and some blues would be pretty. So I'm just kind of dragging it across to get that kind of wood-like look. You know how you drag it. And then they're always going to come out a little bit different. No two are ever going to be the same. You can never put it in the same spot. Oops, that was not so good. Okay, so we'll just blend that out. There we go. And again, I'm not doing it like I normally do where I make sure that it's all nice and even. I kind of want that uneven weathered look, if you will. Okay. And your hands are going to get dirty. So a baby wipe is always good. Alright, so now the next thing that I did was I added a little water and dried it. I'm trying to get my fingers a little bit less gooky. So I've got my water here. I'm just going to kind of puddle it and spray it. I'm going to let that sit for a minute so it can soak in, and while it's doing that, I'm going to use that water and clean up. There we go. Alright. And I think I'll just set that aside to dry. I do need to add a little bit more. I think I'm going to go a little bit lighter on this one. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. So you can see how that pumice underneath and the blue kind of mix. And actually this is going to get covered up, so I'm going to add a little bit more over here where we're going to see it down at the bottom. Again, I'm just letting that, I don't know if you can see it, but if you watch it, you can see it kind of go from shiny to dull, and then that spot appears when it's sinking into the paper. Okay, that's a little better. Alright, so now we're going to move on to, this is that frame that's got a little bit of that texture on it. And we're just going to kind of, oh, sorry. First we got to do the emery board thing. Just gently, because, you know, there's not much there, and you don't want to rip it. Okay. Gently. Did I say gently? Gotta tell myself, gently. Okay. There we go. Get rid of that powder. Alright, so there's what it looks like plain. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blue and a little bit of the black soot. I'll go with the blue first. Again, I'm not doing it even. I just want to get a little distressing, if you will, on there. I'm not even going to go around all of the edges. I think I'm going to go around the middle, the inside edge a little bit. Okay? And then we'll add just a touch of black. And again, be careful with the black. It's a pretty strong color. And I'm going to do this one a little bit lighter. My husband's kind of like, ooh. It's not my normal thing that I do, so trying to do something a little different. Okay, so that's pretty good. Hopefully you can see that. Oh good, I'm glad you can hear me now, Peggy. Yes, I'll continue to try and remember. Speak up, speak up. Okay, so now I'm going to take this flat piece that wasn't embossed and stamp the puppy dog. And he really liked this little puppy dog. So that's the one I focused on, which was actually down here. Where is he? Down here. So I just kind of inked up that part and stamped him. Okay. So then, out of the square stitch rectangles, I did the littlest one and took the inside piece, not the frame piece, put a little bit of the mono liquid glue, the green one, and if you put it on there and just leave it set up to dry so it's not white, then it becomes like a sticky note. I don't know if you knew that. And then I'm just going to cover up that little puppy, and I did it like this last time, but I think I'm going to do it like this, change it up a little bit. Okay, so there's my mat to mask that and cover that up. And like I said, my husband said that last one was pretty dark. Obviously I used black. So let's use some blue instead and kind of lighten it up. Oh, get your butt back on there. Stay. Gotta remember to push down where your glue is. And maybe I'll hold it a little bit. I can get kind of, okay, like so, right? And again, we want to kind of vary our coloring. And then I'm going to go around and just gently hit it with the black so we don't get too dark. Okay. Alright, so then we pick that up and oh, we got a spotlight. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. So there's that piece. Okay. So now let's put this together. And I think before I do that, I'm going to get rid of all of that ink because you don't want it going on the back of your card. That never looks good, right? So let's make sure we do our cleanup. Okay. We could probably get rid of those, but we'll just leave them there. They're fine. Alright, so white card base. Put this piece down. Okay, I know it's right in front of me. You know how you don't see it because it's right in front of you? Where is it? Oh gosh darn. Where did it go? Alright, pull out another one. I don't know where my tape runner went. It decided to disappear. Maybe I put it away. Alright, so we're going to put this down first. And hopefully I don't run out. I think I'm going to. Okay. So we put this down. So here's how I put it down. I look at this side and these two edges. And I get that in there, and then I go up to the next one. And then across to cover it. Okay? Now this one is actually too big. So I want to trim this down just a little bit. And I'm going to trim it down, in case you want to know, to 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, be right back. Okay, and since I did that, kind of got rid of a little bit of my that part, and this is still wet, that's why it's kind of giving me a little bit more distress. Okay, there we go. Alright, so because this is wet and because it's got the embossing, you want to make sure you use a lot more tape than you normally would, because you've got to get into those hills and valleys of it. So, and mine is a little bit wet, so that'll help keep it straight when it's drying. And I ripped it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go this corner to that corner. And actually, I'm going to go just a smidge farther because I want my words to show. And the rip's fine. So, what I need to do, got a little overhang. I'm just going to turn it over and cut it off. No biggie. Would probably work better if I dried it. Oh well, I can't be perfect all the time, can I? No, I'm never perfect. Alright, so there we go. Alright, then I'm going to take my frame and I'm going to put that down with some of this glue. It works a whole lot easier on your little stuff. Sometimes you gotta shake it down when it's getting kind of empty. I really like this glue. And it's on the mat, so we just wipe it off. Kind of like using the mat, you've just got to remember that if you're stamping on the mat, it's going to bead up on you, and wipe it off before you go any further. Okay? So there's that. We'll try to get this down without losing all the glue. Seem to be all thumbs today. What color of oxide ink are you using? I use the chipped sapphire, the black soot, and the pumice stone. Okay, let's put this on. So you've got a little wiggle room, which is nice. Okay. Let me clean up my hands a little bit. They're getting kind of black. Okay. And then I'm going to pull out the 3D foam tape to mount this on. And I don't know if you know, but you can actually just tear this tape. Although I like to cut it. My scissors need to be cleaned. So you could actually do that and then tear it some if you want. I'm just going to get this on the back of here. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is all fingers day, girls. I hope you're enjoying it. I am human. Okay, let's make sure we're on camera. Got glue all over the place. Alright, there we go. Pull all these off. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Really? My finger must be really dry for it to stick to that. Oh, can I get a, oh my goodness. Girl, you're in a world of hurt today. I was feeling fine, honest. Okay, I got it all? Got it all. Alright. Let's put our puppy down. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh well, I'll show you how to fix that. If you want to do something and, darn, I got the card all together. But I wanted to stamp some more of those little paws down, right? Well, that's okay. Hold on just one sec. I'll be right back. Get a piece of typing paper, or printer paper, typing paper, printer paper, and my little stamp. And I want to put some on this little frame. Make sure I'm on camera. So I'm just going to line it up there. And there we go. So we can do that again. Line it up. And stamp the paw. Why not, right? Why not? One more. Okay. And maybe one up there. Okay. So there we go. So there is our puppy dog outlined, and I think I didn't do this on the first one, but I'm going to do it on this one. Here's the download for this. I'm going to take my journaling pen and just add some lines. There. How about that? Alright. So there's the one I just made. And this is the one that I had made before that was a little bit darker here. And I think I might mask it off and spray this with oxide ink. Here, let's try that. See what we can do. If we put this here, and we take our paper, put that there. We're going rogue now, people. So we're just basically going to cover everything up. And actually, I probably don't need that. I can just use this. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. And let's give her a spray. And hopefully the ink doesn't smudge up too much. I'm going to wet my finger. Okay, I'm wetting my finger, getting some water on it, and just kind of dabbing it on there so I can get a little bit more. Just not in that square that I made. Okay, and then I'm going to dab it up just a little bit and let it kind of oxide just a little bit. That does. Okay, so let's dry this. And you know, I may have dried it before and maybe it doesn't oxide after you dry it. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Not much. Okay, so there's the grungy one and here's the less grungy one. Again, the colors I used were black soot, chipped sapphire, and pumice stone. Hope you liked it. Oh, thank you, Linda. Hello to you. I'm glad you liked it. And, you know, you could add whatever other accessories you wanted. And remember, it is kind of a messy art, so you're going to need some cleanup. I got glue on me, ink on me, who knows what else. And where else it is. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next Friday, and maybe it won't be such a train wreck. Take care, everyone. Bye now. And, oh, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments, okay? And I'll get back to you. Bye-bye.